involving others is so significant. And the reason that is not only because of accountability, but it's also because we thrive off other people, and it increases that enjoyment factor. Like, doing that in a group setting is huge.
You're listening to Living Beyond with Hope. Hey, that's me.
Welcome to the podcast. This podcast is meant to help you realize you're more than a label, and you too can create a life you love despite it. Each week, we bring you tips and inspiring messages to help you take the positive steps in your health that will allow you to live beyond. Now sit back, relax, meal prep, or take a walk as you dig into today's topic with your host, a gal living her life to the fullest with type 1 diabetes, Hope Mangiafico.
All right, so the question that I had this week from a student inside of, it's not a student, we're a family, inside of notyourlabel.com is, how do you get motivated to work out, to exercise, or as I like to call it, motivate to move? Because there are days where we straight up feel lazy. Can I get an amen? Like, I get it. Like, I feel lazy more often than you probably would believe. And a lot of that's because life happens and life can get the best of you and it can be tough. And I totally get it. So I want to give you some tactile and actionable steps that you can utilize in your life to get motivated to move. Because I'm going to go ahead and bust a little myth here. It's a lot easier than you probably think or expect. So I'm definitely trying to help. So this tips will help raise your mood and help you realize how doable this kind of stuff is. It's not as crazy hard as you may think. And what I want to teach here is what I do, how I do it, how I live every day to be able to have the energy to exercise and to not be upset and feel defeated when it happens. So let's dig in and figure out how to get motivated to move. So the first thing is having a deeper purpose. So I think I could get a few amens if I could hear you that nothing that is surface level ever lasts, ever. Everything that's surface level, if you're exercising just to lose the weight or to look good just for summer, it's not sustainable. And typically, anything that has a surface level motivation is not enough to keep you motivated. Even if you consider a motivation, it's not sustainable. And what I teach about living beyond your label are sustainable tactics, how you can keep the motivation up. So when you begin a habit like exercising, you are not going to be able to continuously do it if you're doing it just to shed the pounds. And I know that losing weight is a key factor for a lot of people to overcome their label, to not feel depressed, to not feel unworthy. And for a lot of people that may be living with other types of diabetes, for example, such as type 2 diabetes, like, weight is important. But that again goes into a deeper purpose, a purpose that is not just to look good, although that will definitely come, but not just to look good, but to be healthy on the inside. That's where that deeper purpose comes from. And what's cool about exercise is that exercise will help you gain weight, but the right kind of weight if you're looking to gain muscle mass. So you have to have a deeper purpose. And now, here's another catch. Sometimes even a health benefit isn't enough. Because can I hear an amen if you know that exercise and movement is beneficial for your health? It's beneficial for you. It will help you thrive and live longer than you ever could have imagined. But that's not enough sometimes to get you off the couch. That's not enough sometimes to break your work. You're going at it for hours at a time of your job. Because, y'all, I'm an entrepreneur. Hopeful Health, Hope Mangiafico creating a community like Living Beyond Your Label on Facebook. That's what I do for a living. And guess what? I freaking love it. But because I love it, I can spend all day working. And although I built a standing desk so it's not completely unhealthy, I can have this unbalanced life where my work life can take over and I lose my motivation to move. Although I teach health and I teach exercise and I teach nutrition and I teach healthy lifestyles, my motivation is my business that teaches that, and sometimes that isn't enough to help me take care of myself. So, while I say to find a deeper purpose, that doesn't always mean it's going to correlate with you being motivated enough. But if you are that one person that can find a deeper purpose, and how I like to explain that is if you can find your why you want to actually get up and get moving, then that just maybe enough to motivate you. But there is more, as always. So, the second thing, mentality. I talk about mentality so much. I did it all wrong when I first started out on this whole health journey. I didn't understand how significant and important having the right mindset is. It is so darn valuable. It's unbelievable how helpful it is. And one thing that I think I heard it so clearly recently was that wherever our attention is, it's where we're going to be. So if you're sitting back and you're just like watching TV, where's your attention? Your attention is in the here and now watching the TV. Your attention is nowhere else. And when you're here, super comfy like I am right now, which is why I only sit in this chair to film. When you're sitting and you're watching TV, that's where your attention is. And guess where your attention isn't? It's not down the line where you know the benefits are. And that is so valuable. So, where our attention is where we're going to be. So what I heard recently, and this was actually at a church sermon that I was at this Sunday, was that we have to set our attention ahead. And the key here is a lot of times when we think too far ahead, we feel defeated because it is scary. It is so hard to realize that it's possible to reach your goals because it is daunting. So I'm not telling you to stop watching TV, although, if you're going to watch TV, like exercise during the commercials or something, but I would tell you to keep your attention on the here and now that's right before you. So if you're able to put your attention on what's right before you, you will see opportunities open up where you can start seeing the progress that you can make and how far you can go. And that is huge because we so often miss, and an example is just how easy it can be to exercise in these little windows, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But if you so easily, and I do this too, miss the opportunity that's right here in front of you because your attention is on, I don't want to be rude, but like mindless types of things or things that aren't sustainable, or better yet, things that provide instant gratification. And that's the society we live in, is instant gratification. And it is horrible because I'm that way too. But we're in that, we're always in that state. And so we have to realize the long-term gratification, which I'm not going to go into too much because long-term wise, you know it. So you don't need to preach that part to you. That is not the part that's missing. It's understanding how to fit it in and how to not make it feel like a chore, a nightmare. On some occasions, I know some people can't stand it, and I understand that. So we have to move our attention from the instant gratification of the now or the stress that we're going through now and look at what's right before us and the opportunities that are there. Okay? The third part, we have to do what we enjoy. So important. I talk about a lot about soulmate workouts. And I think a lot of people think about exercise is it has to be torturous. It has to be something you have to squeeze in because it's necessary to thrive and feel good and survive. And a lot of times they have some limitations. So diabetes can be limiting when it comes to exercise. Now, I teach tactics on how to not allow that to happen, but it can be limiting. So there are things that can limit you. And if you're overweight, like doing burpees, if you even know what that is, it's not going to be easy, if even attainable at all. So don't do it. Exercise is so powerful that anything that you enjoy will be effective. And that's how you get motivated, is to do the things that you love. So if you like to go to a group class, do a group class. That's not my jam, but I thrive off competing with myself. So I record in my in-home exercise room. So I have all this exercise in the back corner. And I can do high intensity interval training all day by myself because I'm my biggest competitor. That works for me, and I love it. I will make time of day for myself to freaking beat myself in some previous record all day, every day, if I'm not allowing my work to overconsume me. So I find what I love. And if you love just take your dog on a walk, that is good. You will know that I teach that exercise isn't everything, but it is so important to do it to feel good, to feel empowered, and to feel confident. And you need to be able to boost your confidence, to feel great, and to feel wonderful. So it's important, but it's not the key factor for success, for living beyond and for living your life to the fullest. It's not the key to success. So, wow, you get the mindset right and you eat correctly, walking is amazing. And if that's what you love, stick to it. Don't do the crazy stuff that you see or the trends that are going through. If you love it, you'll be successful. Okay? Now, talking about enjoyment, the next part is the duration. Duration is huge because there are different ways to be successful with exercise. I like to work out in 30-ish windows, roughly, and it works well for me. But that means it has to be really intense. But that's how I work. However, a lot of people that like group exercise classes, or there's this mindset that like time, so quantity, correlates with quality. And that's not how exercise works, which be happy about that. It's so exciting that that's not how it works, that your quantity of time does not equate to the quality of your life. And so what you can do is you don't have to work out for an hour at a time. You can work out in 10-minute intervals throughout the day. Or if you, every hour, if you're working, to take a 5 to 10-minute walk, that is enough for you to thrive and to feel amazing and to feel that motivation, because we are motivated by success, by seeing that we can accomplish something. And if you are accomplishing this, think about how great you're going to feel, how confident in yourself you're going to be, and imagine what your next step is going to be. So do not focus on quantity because it doesn't equate to quality, but focus on how you can thrive in your best duration possible. 5-10 minutes every hour, 5-10 minutes every 2 hours, or a 1-hour workout class. What works for you is what you will maintain and stick to. And that is the key. Okay, now this segues right into time of day. A quick backstory about my exercise journey. When I was an undergrad, I was working, not full-time, but I was working 3-ish jobs. I was a student, and I was a personal trainer, and I was obsessed with exercising. So with the schoolwork, I stayed up late. And so I would work out late at night, because if you exercise at all, whether you know the immediate effects, you know how good you feel afterwards. It is so good. And if you work out 3 times a day, just make sure it's not too long. 3 times a day is a lot. So you feel so good, so good. And you have all this energy. And so what I would do would be I would work out around 9:30 at night and get fueled and energized for the rest of my evening where I had homework and work to do. But as I was getting older and staying up late is not smart, I was young, real young, younger than I am now. I learned that now what works for me for time of day is to do it before my work and laziness catches up to me. It seems so simple, but it's so effective. If I get my workout in by 8:30 a.m., where I actually already did a little bit of work, but I have a routine and a habit that I've created, which I talk about habits, so be sure to stay tuned in the future for me to talk about habit creation. But I now create habits that help me not fall into that work lazy trap because I've been there. I totally know how it is. And I used to hate exercising in the mornings, not because I'm not a morning person, because I kind of am, but with my diabetes, it was a struggle. So that's where my label limited me, is what I would say. However, now I understand a little bit more. It wasn't limiting me. I was putting limitations on myself. And now I know how it all works. I can successfully say I work out in the mornings, I feel amazing, and after I get cleaned up, it's like 9 a.m. and I'm like ready to conquer the day. And guess what? Having that habit creation in the morning allowed me and allows me to be even better at my job, which in return allows me to serve you better. How beautiful is that? Like, what a cool gift and what a cool result of that kind of motivation. And so that's a huge thing for me. And that's so exciting. Okay, hold on, guys. We're almost done, and I'll answer questions. So dang exciting, Quincy. I'm so excited. We got one more thing, okay? The last part is involving others. As you know, as I've talked about my community here at notyourlabel.com, involving others is so significant. And the reason that is not only because of accountability, even though that's a huge factor, but it's also because we thrive off other people. And it is accountability, but it increases that enjoyment factor like we talked about earlier. I like to compete with myself in this really tiny room. I love it. But sometimes having my husband tag along is really fun too. And not only that, when the days are that I didn't work out in the mornings and I allowed my work to get the best of me, he is like, Hope, come on, let's go. 15 minutes. If we got to do a 15-minute HIIT workout, we got to do it. So doing that in a group setting is huge. And here's the big one, guys. I'm so excited. If you stay tuned, I have a really exciting announcement and I can't wait to share it. So lean in. Okay, so I have recently learned how significant in all areas of life accountability is. I've always known it, but in the past 6-ish weeks, it has transformed my life on so many levels, and I'm so thrilled. I can't even talk about it, so I'm just going to tell you one thing real quick. I am going to start doing challenges. They'll be anywhere between a week to a month. It depends on the month because each month there will be a different challenge. I'm prepping them now, planning for them now. But if you think accountability sounds like your jam and you want to hang out with me, go to 7daylifechange.com, and that's the number, and enter your information there, and you will get notified when my first challenge goes live. And this is so exciting because it's been an idea of mine, and the good Lord has had me wait on it because I have learned about something recently that is going to completely rock your world. So all of these challenges are going to involve some exercising, some lifestyle stuff, some nutrition stuff. Some will be super simple, like we're just going to hold each other accountable with drinking the right amount of water every day because you won't believe how powerful that is. Or if anyone here has ever been a part of my 45-second challenges that I used to do on Periscope often, then you know how fun and exciting it is to do that kind of stuff. Well, I have a new system that if you join a challenge and we did something like that, I'd be with you every hour for the 45-second challenges. And let me tell you, it's so good. I'm so excited. So if that sounds really cool to you, remember you can go to 7-Day Life Change. I'm just crying. I'm so excited. Oh my God, my eyes are watery. 7daylifechange.com, and you can sign up there, and I'll keep you posted on it. But I've been working on so much stuff behind the scenes, and I'm so thrilled to be able to share my gift and my calling in life with you and to learn new avenues to do it, because it's been awesome to communicate over time, and I'm so excited. So that is it for today. So what we talked about as a brief recap is how to be motivated to move. And what we're going to do is what we're going to do. So what we talked about on how to be motivated to change is having a deeper purpose, having the right mindset to have your attention right before you so you can see the opportunities before you about what you're capable of, finding something you enjoy, finding the correct duration for yourself, because that's how you're successful, picking the right time of day, and lastly, involving others so that you are held accountable and you have some fun. That is so fun. Okay? Bam! End topic.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It means the world to me to be able to serve you and help you live beyond. If you found today's episode helpful or beneficial or share-worthy, I would love a review in iTunes. A review in iTunes allows me to know what was helpful and allows us together to continue to change lives and help other people live beyond their diagnosis or label. And if you did find this share-worthy or helpful, be sure to subscribe to this podcast. If you're on an Apple device, you can go to the podcast app or the iTunes store and type in Living Beyond with Hope, and there you can subscribe or listen to other episodes. When you subscribe, this allows you to know when there's a new podcast released. If you're on an Android device, no worries, I got you. All you have to do is download the Stitcher app and search for Living Beyond with Hope there and subscribe there. You can also go to www.livingbeyondwithhope.com if you would like to listen to the episode again, if you would like to see the show notes and any links that were mentioned in this episode. Today's episode was also brought to you by my Living Beyond the Label audiobook. If you enjoyed this and you like hanging out with me in your ear, then you would love to get your hands on this audiobook. It helps us together strategize your best and most balanced life. If you want to learn more about it and to get your hands on the audio and the worksheets that go with it, you can go to www.mybalanceplan.com. The link is also in the show notes, and there you'll be able to start strategizing your best life. Have an amazing rest of your day, and remember to keep living beyond. Beyond.